This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is that guy, Tommy.
Yo.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? 2023 is almost over. Train tracks. Yeah.
That was the worst one yet.
This year, goal to make them progressively worse until the year ends, right?
We still got almost a little less than 2 months?
Month and a half.
Oh, God, we do. Jeez. Sorry.
And we got a special guest joining us this week. We've been trying to make this happen for a long, long time, and it is amazing to me that I am interviewing this man as a pro wrestler. Here we are, the Stud Stash.
I'll see him.
Oh, there we are, baby.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's still Halloween at my house.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I have a feeling it's Halloween every day at your house.
You're correct. You are correct.
I feel like we need like an extra camera just for the stash itself. You know, just to have that going on.
Yo, a stash camera would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Stash cam.
So having like a GoPro just like on his face, like on all.
That, you know what? That could be his next gimmick, right? Stash cam, just attach it right there when he walks to the ring. So, thank you for joining us. It's awesome to have you on here.
Yeah,
it is
thank you.
still wild to me considering I've known you for such a long time before you got started in this. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube or both, if you whatever, feel free to. We're gonna spend a little time interviewing the Stud Stash here. We're gonna talk about the shows he's gonna be involved with this weekend before we get into Crown Jewel. So, so if you got any questions for the Stud Stash, type them in. We'll see. This one I'll definitely say from the last person we had on live. There shouldn't be as much shit talking about Tommy because Angel Blue's not on here, but. Quick little update about her. It is an AC joint sprain is what I've heard, so don't know what the recovery is, but it's not as bad as we feared. So she did post a video of the injury. But man, how you been, first of all? I gotta say I hadn't seen you in a while, but to see you wrestling, you got the biggest smile on your face, man.
I've been tired.
Yes.
You should be. Like,
Yeah.
So and I know this answer to this question. I'm going to throw it out there. Were you a big fan of wrestling growing up? Like, who did you love to watch?
I think I said it in my in that little documentary that McCullum did on me. The very first match I remember seeing was I think the big event, Mr. Wonderful versus Hogan in the steel cage.
Yeah.
That's my very first memory of wrestling, and since then I was hooked.
Awesome. And I got to say, I've known you also to be a Macho Man fan too, because there's one Frontier Bowl I specifically remember you walking over in full on maroon and gold Macho Man gear, tassels and everything, glasses and all this stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to
I just walked. I was dressed like that, and this was before wrestling.
This was before wrestling, yes.
And I just walked through the gate, past security, and onto the field, and nobody stopped me. So I just kept on going and kept on going.
Like, he must be part of the show. Let him go.
Pride of the South Side, right?
do we stop that guy? No,
yeah.
apparently he's supposed to be here, right?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, for those that don't know, of course, and we'll try and post the video later. We just got a copy of it without some of the extra stuff. But MCTV is a little student-run, produced weekly little television show they do at McCullum High School, and they did a feature on Stud Stash, who also happens to be an economics teacher. So he's fulfilling two dreams at once. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome.
That money, so.
Yes, all about the money. So helps with negotiating your rate, right?
Yeah. You
So
turn in this assignment. Or show you how sleeper really feels. But
once they see this, then
Yes.
you're a literal mustache twirling villain, and I love it. It's like I love to write, so whenever I hear the phrase mustache twirling villain, now you are the person that comes to mind like, oh, mustache. Damn it, his gimmick works. That's the
Yeah.
exactly.
So, what age were you when you started training? I gotta ask. Yeah.
And my training was kind of unorthodox. I
Yeah.
was 37 when I was brought into the business.
Wow.
Yeah. It was kind of do or die for me at that age because I tried 2 years before and no discipline whatsoever. And, 37, Bryson Scott kind of just saw me. I forgot, it was like a veterans thing. And he straight up said, like, hey, you should come to our wrestling show. So I went. I was like, oh, man, I mean, this is what it's like indie stuff. And I had no idea indies existed like that.
Yeah.
And then he just said, what are you doing next week? I said, nothing. He goes, you want to take me to the ring to Laredo? I said, I don't know what I'm doing. He goes, just listen to me. And the rest was history. Not exactly how he brought into the business, but we would train out an hour before call time. Every show, and that's when he was booked every single weekend.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and I mean, one-on-one training with somebody for an hour, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, knowing the basics, getting to know the basics, trying to be safe. And then I think he got hurt around like month 6. And that's when Tito, the man, Tito Sanchez, scooped me up, and I started training with him for about a year and a half. Between that year and a half, Rob Love scooped me up, and the rest is history. I mean, I'm still with Rob Love to this day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Unfortunate, Tommy, but it's
Yeah, I know, because everyone knows my deep hatred for Rob Love, but every now and then he does something right. I mean, this is one.
Yeah, he got stud stash, so there's a good one.
This is one, and there's. No, that's it. That's the only good thing he's ever done.
Jason, the DDP of South Texas. There it is.
I mean, yeah.
Oh man, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, dude. I just saw that.
Yeah. So training. How was your first day of training? Was it what you expected it to be?
It was a little slow.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta know footwork. I gotta know, how to grab an arm. It was little things, and I was like, oh, I would just want to throw somebody around, and it wasn't like that at all. No, I have to wait for that. So, but once I got with Tito, the first day training with Tito, he made me pass out for real.
I'm somehow not surprised by that at all.
He put his big old arm, his old man arms around my neck, and before I knew it, my eyes were closed. And he told me, he goes, big boy, he goes, I could take you out anytime I want. And I believed him.
Yeah. Damn it, I missed that guy. He was so cool.
Oh, I love Tito, man.
He was the best.
Yeah.
So no amount of cardio from your days in the Army could prepare you for what Tito was going to put you through.
Oh, no. Not at all.
Yeah.
And then when I would get the little upper hand on him, just a little upper hand, and shame on me for getting upper hand on an older man. Oh, he would make me pay.
Old man strength, dude. It's real. My dad's 78, and I still am positive I can't take him in a fight. He's got a bad hip and everything. I'm like, I don't know. No, I can't. I don't know what he's got left in the tank, and I don't want to figure it out either.
I think we all have that story in that family. My grandfather, rest in peace, when my parents were getting ready to move up to San Antonio with me in tow, my dad, back then, had his weights in his garage, and he's packing that. And my grandfather looks at him like, "What is that?" Those are my weights. Man, I can lift that all with one hand. Yeah, he bets my dad like $50. It's like boom, one hand puts it all in the bar, and my dad's out $50 for me or something. I'm like not even a year old yet. So yeah. Some of the stories about my grandfather that I heard years down the road. So, you went to Indies. They actually, for that little segment MCT, they interviewed my wife about it, and she mentioned how you had asked her about some independent shows. Were there other independent shows around town that you had gone to visit before you got started training, or?
The only one I saw was when Galactic Pro was around, and then after that, that's when I went to LWA in Laredo.
Oh, okay.
And I knew about RCW because I'd seen it on TV when it was on TV, like I want to say like 2010 maybe, or maybe even before that.
Yeah, because I think like Ken's would air them like once a week, like I forget what day, and so
it was them or CW. It was somebody, but it was like late at night.
No, you're right. You're right. It was I think it was like CW, but I can't remember what time. It was super late, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how long were you training before you got your first match?
I think. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but like 6 months. And then Bryson had gotten hurt, freak accident in the ring, and he was supposed to defend, the heavyweight championship at TWA, and I ended up defending it in his place. That was my first match, defending his title.
Wow.
Yeah, and I lost it to Tony Batista. I had no idea what the hell happened.
Their instructions: get in there and look tough. It's like, cool.
I couldn't hear. For some reason, I couldn't see. I just had to grab something. It was nuts, man. Like, it was nuts.
That's one of the rare stories you hear. My first match was defending a title. What?
Right.
So all of Blur, I'm sure. Do you remember it? Do you remember how it went? How the crowd reacted, or how was it?
I remember the crowd reacting like when I came out. Initially, like there was a small stir, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah,
they know something. They know I'm I guess that presence,
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. And then I remember Bryson getting involved with a crutch, and them booing us. I was originally the heater, so he was the heater for the match. So I mean, it worked out, anyways.
Okay.
Yes. Mike, Tommy, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, well, I was going to say because you that was after training for a bit, but you said they just brought you out to a show to walk him out your first time before you started training. How different was that first time versus when you're finally in a match? Like that first time you just walk out with him, were you going after the crowd? Were you into it? Were you in awe? What was that like?
I caught myself in awe, like just watching, like just instead of like
I got the best seat in the house.
Instead of being a heater, I would catch myself watching, and then he'd feed the guy to the ropes, and I'm supposed to choke him, and I just look at him, and I made all sorts of mistakes as a heater, man. But soon enough, smartened me up, and I got to go and doing my little heater stuff, and kind of got over.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What is like your experience been like just traveling all over with the local shows? How does that feel going from town to town like that?
It was weird. I've never experienced nothing like that. Like always on the move, always have to be on the go. I thought it was kind of cool, because being in the Army, I was used to getting up and going at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of missed that. And then when I'd see the locker room, I'd see that brotherhood and stuff. So I kind of like flocked to it.
That's awesome.
So it didn't really faze me at all. It was just kind of like, oh shit, let's go.
Was the physicality just as bad, or was the Army much worse? Because I'm assuming the Army was much worse.
Oh, the Army broke me down, brother.
Yeah.
The Army made me feel like I was a piece of nothing.
Hey, Talk and Listening Podcast. We see you, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah. So I just be hesitant on making my daughter cry with Bryson.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm a big bear at heart.
Yeah.
I felt so bad about like, oh, should I? And we just growl at her,
Funny story. There's like a little Scott Summer story with my wife. One time he came out, was doing a little heel thing, and he said something to Tina, and Tina gave him the teacher stare. That'll break a heel. Let me just tell you. And he was like, "Oh shit, I really pissed her off." So just how much have you potentially used your wrestling persona, your heel gimmick, when the kids are acting up in class? Does that happen again?
Oh man, it was like day one.
Yes.
Like day one, I mean, I'm just talking calmly like I am now, like giving out instruction, and then there would be, I think they were testing me. So they'd get a little bit louder than me, and all I would say is, "Hey, I said, I'm speaking, and my eyes would go wide. The look I'm looking at right now, my eyes would go. I said, I'm speaking. I said, when I'm speaking, I need y'all shut. And then it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got those little crazy eyes in there,
Yeah, of course.
So having just done a death match, do you have the thumbtacks or the skewers just in case, like in the desk? Like in case the one class gets too over rowdy, you're like, all right, let me show you what these do.
No, but a funny thought entered my head the other day.
Yeah.
Because I do have the thumbtacks there at the desk because I tack stuff up.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, man, if these kids ever got out of hand, I'm gonna grab a handful of these and just and then look at them and listen now. But I think I get fired.
Yeah.
You just gotta have a death match like the Sunday before they could walk in Monday just with tack still and your head still bleeding. Good morning, class. What the hell? Oh yeah, last night things are kind of rowdy. So anyway,
you should see the guy who disobeyed me.
So anyway, did you guys do your homework? I hope you did your homework.
I was lecturing on a Monday, right? And I think I was at Uncanny Attractions, and that's when I got skewers by Sky Della Cremosa. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then I was talking, and I guess it wasn't like they weren't understanding. So I kind of looked at them. I said, "What's the matter? Am I oozing?" And they all kind of like got confused. I said, "All right, then we'll carry on.
Yeah, teacher injury. It happens sometimes.
Yeah,
That was if he just randomly started bleeding for one lesson. It's like, oh, man, guys, wild weekends. Am I right? Right? Oh, this don't happen to y'all? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Anyway.
You just had that MCTV feature, and of course Halloween week, right? Frontier Bowl week. And the funny part is 10 years ago, it was actually 10 years ago, they did a feature on my wife and by proxy me about her being a wrestling fan outside of the school. And she's getting all these questions from students about it, like, what this shows and everything. How have the students reacted to you since that story came out and it was shown on TV?
Man, it's nothing but love in the hallways. Like,
yeah,
hey, Stash, hey, the wrestler. Or you
yes.
That's him.
Yes. Yeah, I heard that at the night pep rally. You're doing the little thing with the mascot, and you were getting set up.
Good.
I was hearing students, oh, that's the teacher that's a wrestler.
Yeah.
So it did the whole bit. But I got to ask you, that whole Frontier Bowl rivalry, how hard is it to teach a McCullum when you're a Harlandale grad?
Oh, I mean, if you got the size of the stud stash and the stash period, it's not hard at all.
Yeah.
No, man, it's kind of hard. I feel like I'm betraying my own, but at the same time, I know why I'm here. I'm here for the community. I'm here for the kiddos.
Yeah.
So it feels good to be a part of both. I get to bleed both. Because eventually you never traitor.
You misspelled traitor.
Hey, you misspelled traitor.
The DX turn, break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different. Do I wish I'd be teaching at Harlandale at my alma mater? Yeah, but I'm still in the district. I'm only a couple miles away.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
What's funny is that you teach and Dusty Wolf actually teaches at my at Northwest Vista College. So I always love telling people that he corrected Trader. Yeah. I love telling people that he's a wrestler because he doesn't like to bring it up all the time. So I like telling people, and like their eyes they like, especially students are like, he used to what? Like yeah what? Back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like a level of disbelief for like 5 seconds until they see I'm totally serious. I figured like that had to be the same for you at first when like you started saying, "Oh no, I'm a pro wrestler."
Yeah.
Okay.
I would deny it. And I'd say, no, that's my cousin. We kind of look the same. We have a big family. And, man, they only believe that for a few days, and then I couldn't hide it.
You're better than me. I'd have milked that joke for everything I have for as long as I could.
I don't know. That's a tag team I want to see now.
I'm still, that wouldn't be bad. See Elias and Ezekiel against Stud Stash and his cousin. I wouldn't mind seeing that. So one of these days.
But instead of the stash, he's got like the beard or something.
Yeah,
Or instead of up, it goes down.
Yeah.
The big one that comes in.
Yeah, book it, Triple H. No, I'm kidding.
Well, where did the inspiration for the stash come from? Because when I knew you before, when we were hall monitor, we were volunteer coaching with the basketball team there at McCollum. You didn't have it wasn't as well defined. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I just had a goatee. I had a full beard goatee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day, I had shaved everything off. I was clean shaven, and I said, "Let me see if I can just grow a little mustache. I just want to see what a mustache looks like." And I mean, I got lazy, and the thing grew fast. That thing grew within weeks, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then I just started saying, like, "Ooh, let me try and do this." Everybody has the long beard. This was like, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Everybody had the long beard. I had the long beard. So I said, you know what? Let me do the mustache. Nobody has that right now. And then so I started doing it, and then all the hipsters started doing it. So,
Yeah.
But it was just a change of pace for me, and I actually dig it. I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does it take a lot of maintenance now, or?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay.
I spend money on the oils, trying to try different ones. Some work, some don't. Some smell good, some smell bad. Some just make my mustache like bulletproof.
I believe it.
No, Tallcan, you're 100%, man.
Yeah, we wish we had a stash like that. Yeah,
no lie. Yeah, we wish we could. But
I mean, the best I could get was Ted Lasso because that was my Halloween costume, but it still came out pretty good. So, convinced,
But I don't know when or if I'll ever get rid of it. I actually want to put it on the line one day.
Ooh.
Stash versus hair, stash versus mask.
Stash versus mask. That'd be interesting.
That
goes back in RCW. We got
What's up, Terry?
What's up, Terry?
Hey, yo.
Well, you being the economics guy, what percentage of your wrestling pay goes to maintaining the stash? I guess that's a good question to ask.
You know what? If I get $100, 40 of it is going to oils and stuff like that. No lie.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Look at my face. I wish I was.
Yeah, I know.
I believe you.
At this point, that's also just keeping up with the gimmick too. That's
you gotta sell it too.
Because every day it's like in the morning I have to wake up, I comb it, and then I have to add the stuff. By the time I get to work, I have to add more stuff. If I'm in the car, I'm adding stuff. Midday, I'm adding stuff. Man.
Tallcan got the jokes.
Teflon stash versus hair.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just envision you with like a special brush like Will Ferrell had in was it Blades of Glory with his hair?
Yeah,
one of those special brushes in a case and everything like that too.
Yeah, so. But then I have tins laying all over the house, at my mother's house, at the school, in the car. I mean, I think I'm worse than like. Some of the females who have their makeup lying all around the place. I have more crap laying all around than my wife does.
Yeah. I heard argan oil works. Oh, wow.
Argan oil. Yeah. I need to check that out.
Just helping them out.
All right, 45% then.
Yes, right. How supportive has your wife been with this dream of yours, being a wrestler?
Oh man, especially at our age, like because we're the same age, man. It's she's been real supportive. I don't ask her to do some of the things she does, man. And especially with the death matches, I'll come home and she's there with like stuff to disinfect me. Here, make sure to take your antibiotic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like here, give me all your bloody clothes. She'll wash them. Like it's amazing. Like I'm so blessed to have her.
That's
do
awesome.
things like I'm not one of those wrestlers who comes home and said, "Hey, wash all my sweaty clothes." I don't do that.
Yeah. He knows better.
I usually come home late and wash my own stuff, or if I forget in the morning, it's washing. Like she supports me in that.
Yeah.
She supports like the traveling. Yeah, it's hard on us and stuff, but she knows ultimately this is my dream, and man, to make it happen at such a late stage in life, it's not every day that a 37. I'm about to be 42 in 2 weeks. It's not every day that, I'm in the prime of my career at 42 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she sees it, so she just supports it. And I love it. And just like my parents, man, they support the crap out of it. My dad, Papa Stash, he's the one with the bit. With the
the OG Stash.
Supports it.
Yeah. OG Stash.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Has she attended a show you've wrestled, and has she obviously not one of the death matches? I would hope not, but has she been able to attend? And how has she enjoyed seeing the live crowd and everything like that too.
Oh yeah, she enjoys it. She enjoys it. She actually works the door at the United show, so she's always there supporting as well.
Oh,
You know, it's a family business, so you know, she enjoys it. She just, like you said, the deathmatch stuff. Nah, she hates that. You know,
Yeah.
you know, she just sees the marquee, the card, and she's like, okay, that's all I need to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she don't like Death Stash. She don't like that.
Well, what has been your favorite match that you've had thus far in your career?
At the Buzzsaw Massacre, me versus Great Scott in Great Scott's last match.
Okay.
That was the best match I've had. That was the best match of my career, bar none. Before that, it was me versus a few years back, just right before COVID in McAllen. It was me and Alvaro, Bandana Joe.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, that one was some hard hitting action, man. We took it to each other, then afterwards we drank a little bit of tequila.
I mean, they solved the
Sounds like the
Down in the
life.
valley,
Yes.
of course. Yeah. So, have you been able to wrestle out of state? Because I know you're predominantly around Texas, but have you been able to get out of Texas at all? Or
Yeah, I've wrestled in Florida, Tennessee, Kansas, just to name a few states. I want to say Louisiana. Yeah.
Okay.
For VHS Pro Wrestling, I love that place because it's all retroed out, and I just get to be someone. I get to be Stash, but like 80s Stash.
yes.
Nice.
That's where the era where the stash kind of went anyway. So
Yeah.
What would be like a dream place for you to wrestle? Not necessarily a major promotion, but like a place to travel to. That you
Now that you mentioned that, I did wrestle in at the old ECW arena. Me and Rob Love.
Wow.
It was a tag. It was a pay-per-view. Oh man, I forgot the name of the promotion. Forgive me. Lucha something. It was a pay-per-view. We wrestled in the old ECW arena. Got to sign our names on the wall and everything.
that's so cool.
That's awesome.
So much
That is
history
so
there. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Where I want to wrestle, a dream place to wrestle is, of course, everybody wants to wrestle at MSG, but Hammerstein Ballroom, where some of my friends have wrestled there, and hopefully I get to wrestle there, and Tokyo Dome.
Oh, there we go. I was waiting for it. I feel that was coming.
Hey JC, him versus Toriano. Who you got? Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
boy.
Come on, who you got?
Okay, fun, but we also got to go with the other one then. Stash versus Cobb. You want to talk about slapping meat?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm down for that.
Actually, a dream match that I'm lobbying for right now is Stash versus PCO.
Oh, yo, that'd be a ton of fun, bro. Because first of all, PCO can't die. I'm positive at this point. So
yeah, but also buy a few extra disinfectants and bandages after that one. So.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, something's getting involved. The dude, I was the one picking to win Monster's Ball, and he got away.
I feel like whenever, God forbid, when I hope this is years out, and when he does pass, we're not going to believe him for like 6 months because we're just going to think he's working us so he can get one more match out of something.
Oh, yeah.
But also, talk about someone else. Like, I know he had a career before, but like a late in life, like character that really came around and came to life. Like, he was Jean-Pierre Lafitte. I remember him versus Bret Hart like in the late 90s or whatever. And then he turned into PCO, and it's been like a whole another career for him.
Resurgence, yeah.
It's almost the same as like when DDP started it. When DDP started late, when and Stash like you started wrestling late. PCO essentially had to start from scratch because unless you were told it was the same guy, you would never know that this is the same dude that he was back then. And then to take the bumps he does is crazy. Between him and Sting, I'm like, will you two sit down somewhere? Well, they both make me feel like I'm just lazy as hell whenever they do. So I'm like, and there goes PCO and Sting jumping off something else. Meanwhile, my knee was hurting walking up the stairs at work today. So.
You mentioned wrestling before COVID. How difficult was it to navigate being a wrestler during COVID when everything was shut down?
Man, seriously, I thought about just giving up. I was like, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. I did my thing for a little bit. I can say I did it, and I'd be kind of satisfied. But little by little, it came back. We're trying to make things work. I still had a ring at the yard, so we were able to, train a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So at least we had that, and we could throw on mock matches for at least 3 or 4 of us that were in attendance. But it was very frustrating, man. Very frustrating. Especially to see, my best friend Rob Love, he was right there, and then for that just to put everything at a halt, and to see some of my guys, how I've never seen them depressed, down. It'd be surprised what you take away wrestling, what it does to someone with that passion for it.
Yeah, when you just can't be out there performing.
Yeah.
How long was it? Basically, how much of a break was there from the moment you had your last show before you were able to get back in the ring during that? Do you remember?
I think it was like a good year.
Man.
Yeah, it was like a whole year.
Yeah. Can't imagine.
That's. I mean, because I remember it wasn't until the first show I'd heard about during the era wasn't until Mission Pro had a show in Buda, because I don't remember anyone running in San Antonio at all until maybe late 2020, and even then it was we'll see what happens. I think that was RCW actually. So
yeah, probably.
Title match never kind of came about because of it too. People being able to attend and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
and watching old matches too. So
yeah, when it started back up, did you feel like you had like a proverbial reset button, or everyone still had the same kind of contacts, or did it feel like a different landscape from when you had started?
It was kind of like you had to feel around, because there was some promotions who weren't even gonna try, and there was some who just pushed the envelope. So I mean, and then if you went with the ones that pushed the envelope, like, you were part of the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when all is said and done, you were just trying to get back out there for those fans and for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have any questions too?
Sorry. I was going to say, because it really is such a big promotion in Texas in general. How does it feel wrestling for RCW, and to know all kidding aside, and I hate him because it's easy to do so, and because he makes it so. But Rob Love and you are definitely probably one of the biggest acts going in RCW. The fans will instantly hate you the second you come out, and I mean that in a good way, because at least they care. So I mean, they care enough to react, and in whatever way. How does that feel to be part of such a big promotion like that?
I'm one of those wrestlers that doesn't have a certificate.
Yeah.
I don't have a certificate that says I graduated, and sometimes I get down on myself about that. But at the same time, I was brought up an old school way. I was brought up 80s style, and I take great pride in that. Because it's hard to learn on the road. And for Brandon Oliver to take a chance, Rob Love didn't lobby for me. Rob Love never lobbied for me. He told me so himself. Because I said, "Hey, can I get on RCW?" He's all, "Bro, this is one of those places where I can't do that." Yeah. And for Brandon Oliver to see that, or to take a chance on me, I mean, that means so much. Yeah. Because he runs the tightest ship, and he's been running this ship for 20 years, and it's been going like that for a reason.
Yeah.
Because he is a smart man. He's a good businessman. He knows what he's doing. And, I have so much pride wrestling for RCW. I'll do anything they ask, because that show is so fun.
Yeah.
And, they bring in so many stars. The fans, man. The fans. Like, I love when he says, "Hey, our next show is this date." And freaking, it's already almost sold out.
Yeah, the Iron Claw show, the front row was sold out, I think, before the end of RCW Forever.
Yeah, before Forever.
I think when they announced, "Okay, guys, don't forget Iron Claw," I think they said like that Monday. I don't know if they said, was it that Monday that they said, "Okay, front row's gone."
Within days. Yeah.
I was like, front row's gone. They announced it yesterday.
I'm at a point right now where I feel like RCW needs to do one show a year out of the Freeman Coliseum, because it's that big right now.
Dude.
So,
Brandon, if you're listening, that could do it.
No, yeah.
I feel like even if it and I feel like they could, if not fill it up, it'd get pretty damn close, because I feel like enough people in San Antonio and the surrounding area know about RCW and would go.
Yeah,
for sure. It's amazing to think that most people don't realize that they've been around just as long as Ring of Honor.
They've been around as long as Ring of Honor and TNA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, you're on. You mentioned it. Iron Claw this weekend. Mike, do you have what was the match card?
Well,
That,
we do, but do you want to talk about the United show first? Because that's Saturday night.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about
show.
that. You did bring up United 2-0. Not too many people are familiar with it. It's one of the I think the smaller promotions in town. But you said it's a family run event. Where do they run their shows out of?
We run out of my parents' backyard.
Nice.
I mean, okay.
But when I say the backyard, when you get there, I like to describe it as the Cadillac of backyards. My dad, Papa Stas, takes such great care of the grounds. Actually had a slab built to put the ring on.
Nice.
Okay. And we've had lights installed, to shine into the ring. We can seat probably about 300 in there and stand about another 150. And right next to it is an open lot where we use as parking, and our food vendors go there. And I have at least 3 food vendors and, some merchandise vendors that go every show. And, it's a great venue. Our lightest house is literally a backyard.
Yeah. So.
But when you go there, it just has a different feel. Just because the community comes, everybody on the street, they grab their chairs, they grab their ice chests, and they leave their houses and they walk towards the yard. And
Nice.
Our lightest house has been about 120 people. Our heaviest house has been about 400 for that buzzsaw show.
Yeah.
So our fans are very loyal. I mean, we started hot, and we're gonna end hot. It's great. It's a 1003 Macaulay, 78221. And
Nice.
it's like a family get together. Everybody knows everybody.
So it's a block party, basically, is what you got going on.
Yeah, basically.
I do want to tell you a quick story because I haven't been able to get out there, but y'all ran a Sabotage show earlier this year from there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd heard about that, and I saw the promo for it, and I'd heard about United a little bit. So I was like, I'm gonna see if I can make the show. Let me look it up. So I look up that address, and I'm like, this doesn't look like it's like a gym or something. I was like, and I'll Google. So I was like, this looks like a street. I was like, let me go to like house view. And I was like, no, this is just in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
I was like, so and then like I talked to Tom. He's like, yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, because I haven't been able to get there, unfortunately. Like every time you guys have a show, something is happening that day. Like this coming Saturday, I won't be able to make it. But it's like when I heard about it, so I think Jason, who Jason did tell me.
Yeah, Jason does. Yeah,
he was in the comments. Did told me, and I was like, in the backyard. And I was like, but then I immediately said, you know what? That's cool. I've been to much weirder venues for wrestling, and so that's probably the least surprising place I've ever been for wrestling.
But what I also love about this town, because like it's the same people at just about all. Like there's a group at the hybrid shows, at the RCW shows, at the United shows. So I'm always seeing their videos, and I'm like, God damn it, that looks like so much fun. Because you're just in the backyard with your own chairs. You say you got the street vendors there and stuff.
Well, Mike, you got a truck. You could just pull up next to the lot.
Right.
Put some chairs there. You're like the Wrigley rooftops, basically, just off your truck,
So on the back of it, yeah, really. Bring a cooler.
Yeah.
Whose is that?
I don't know if that's mine or not. Oh, it's JC's. JC, your mic went on, I think.
Nope, we can't hear you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. JC's going to work on his technical difficulties.
Yep. It's not. It's surprising how it's not me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't hear you, JC.
The Yard United this Saturday is our season finale.
Yeah.
Of our first season, our first full season, and it's on Veterans Day, which means a ton to me because I myself I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
So we have a big 5-on-5 elimination match with 2 mystery partners on both sides. It's King Rob Love, myself, Pac Ortega. David Kidd weaseled his way onto our team. I don't know how that happened.
I think I just saw that.
Which is strange because the next night that's the opposite. But
yeah, so he's gonna have to stay away from me a little bit. And then we have a mystery partner, someone who hasn't been to United in a while.
It's Sting.
On the other side, we have Teflon John, the champion, the United champion.
Yeah.
We have ETC. He is from AAPW.
Okay.
Mr. Connor Chen. He's a talented individual. Diego Rene, Delicious Don Juan, and a mystery partner who's never wrestled at the Yard ever.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, the multiverse is real,
The
Jason.
multiverse is real.
Dude,
It's happening.
Dude.
It's happening with Hybrid, RCW, United. You got to be there to believe it.
Every time I tell people about wrestling in San Antonio, because like I have a lot of family who like see my pictures and stuff, and they like church members too. They're like, man, every weekend you're like posting new pictures. Like, is wrestling that big in San Antonio? And now I just got to tell them it's so big. We have a multiverse. Like Saturday and Sunday are not the same day. You know that just because you see one person one place does not mean the same person. You can boo H2 Easy out of the building, well, Men's Revolution out of the building one place, and you're cheering H2 Easy somewhere else. It makes no sense, but I love every second.
Saturday at the Yard, I'm the hometown hero.
Yeah.
And then Sunday at RCW,
You're the villain.
Man, you're gonna hate.
No, legit. A couple months ago, right at the end of summer, there was like 4 straight weeks where I was able to go to a wrestling show. There was like wrestling at Traders Village, then like there was an RCW show, then the Hybrid, then Mission Pro, and I was just like, yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
every weekend.
Why not?
That's why I tell everybody, Texas is just a place for wrestling. I don't care what anyone says.
And it wasn't my idea to start a wrestling promotion.
Yeah,
there just wasn't wrestling on the South Side, and we had a ring there one time, and we threw a show, and it just so happened to be fun.
Yeah.
So I said, well, you know what? I was saving up for something, but let me go ahead and buy a wrestling ring, put it in the yard, and see what we could cook up. And it's just been going, and the Southside community has loved it.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's for everybody. You know, and we all work together as a family, as friends, as wrestlers, and we put on these shows for the community to enjoy because it's a cheap night. $10 for adults, kids 12 and under are free. Bring your own ice chest. Bring your own chair.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, well, I'm glad you're running that show. Y'all single-handedly might be the reason there's a Dunkin' Donuts off of military now. So just throwing it out there.
Probably not wrong though.
It started as a food truck. Now there's
but also it's San Antonio. So when you say military, you got to be specific.
Yeah, because that's
Southwest military between 35 and Pleasanton. Yeah, so
it's about 45 streets.
Well, you mentioned you got started in this later than most people usually do. I mean, you I'm assuming right out of high school you went into the military. How long did you serve in the Army?
I served almost 6 years. I was one of those few who got stop lost.
Oh, really?
I was only supposed to serve 4, and they ended up keeping me for a while.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you go? So you're our age. Did you go overseas? Where would you go overseas when you?
Yeah, when 9/11 was happening, like when the planes were going through the buildings, I was at Fort Sam in my medic class.
Wow.
Yeah, and then our drill sergeant just had to throw in there like, hey, get ready because y'all gonna be going to Iraq and Afghani land, and we were like, 18, 19 years old, being like, what the crap? What's going on?
Yeah.
Is that why they stop lost you? They needed you out there, or
I got stop lost like after my first tour. My first tour, I was out there. I was 20 years old. Mm-hmm. Can't buy any booze, but I can be out there, fighting the enemy. Yeah. And I was out there my first year about a year and a few months straight.
Yeah,
I never came home. And then came home for 6 months and went back out for another year and like 4 months.
Damn.
How scary was that? Because I mean, I'm thinking about that time. You're our age. We get out of high school. I mean, I was freaking out because I had to sign up for selective service just so I could get financial aid, right, to go to college. Yeah. But you enlist thinking, okay, I'm doing the military. I'll do my time, then get some money for college. But then 9/11 happens, and suddenly, oh my God, I'm going like the front lines potentially of the war on terror. How scary was that being out there?
It was scary because my job was a medic.
So
I knew I was going to have to see some stuff. And being a young man, 20 years old, 19 years old, I was scared. And it was plenty of times out there where I thought, oh, this is it. There's things all around us I can't even hear. And I'm seeing people get taken out left and right next to me. And I'm like, oh, this is it. So you just start praying. And then I was, the worst things were when I finally did get to call home around the 6-7 month mark. That's when I got to call home for the first time. And just just to hear my mother crying and not being able to talk to her because she was just crying the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, that was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But definitely turned me into a man overnight. Definitely gave me the discipline that I have now, and it definitely gave me that no fear attitude that helps me through wrestling, that helps me through these crazy matches as well. Because man, I stared death in the face. You know, ain't no little thumbtack gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
So you know,
nor any freshmen or sophomores. So
No, for sure.
Well, I don't know. There's this one junior.
Have you seen the football players, Mike? Jesus.
Well, no, I don't know. Ours are in the playoffs over here. So I don't know.
There's a junior that's in my class. He's bigger than me.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
And I gotta be like, yeah, that's what I said.
You look at him like, I was in Afghanistan twice, and you scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that, young man.
But you know how to equalize with chairs and no.
I mean, you do know a few tricks, you know. So
Yeah.
hey.
I remember those kendo sticks you were wielding a couple shows ago. So.
A quick thumb to the eye, and the kick goes down. So
Did you play any sports in high school? I'm trying to wonder if we might have played against each other like football or something. Because Mike and I played football
I
at
played
Central.
football up until my freshman year. I played my middle school years and up until my freshman year. Then I chose basketball because I don't know, for some reason I was pretty good in basketball.
Oh, JC, maybe you played him then.
I only played basketball freshman year. I don't know if we ever played Harlandale. Although I'm sure if you ever played at Central Catholic, you probably heard us in Section R of the crowd because Mike and I are pretty loud and obnoxious with the rest of our fellow students.
Yeah,
classmates.
Loud and obnoxious with me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
we were like
Yeah.
the Tommy of the high school basketball.
Yeah.
I think that's the compliment I know was meant to be.
You know, I still.
Are you still the
follow
alumni
up.
tournament? Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm out there because I played football and baseball in high school. I did basketball just freshman year. So when Central has the alumni softball tournament every year, that's where I'm at. So it's a good chance for us to get together and do that. That's always a fun time. How did y'all do in the alumni basketball tournament this year?
Oh, this year we won. This year we won. Last year we lost.
Yeah.
2 years before that we won two times in a row. So
Nice.
3-time champ.
Have they finally set up the part where they're going to say, okay, whoever wins the Harlandale alumni tournament faces whoever wins the McCollum tournament? Because they haven't done that yet, you know?
I think they tried it one time. They tried it with South San as well, and it was called One Big Something. But I think that's just hard to organize.
Yeah. So, or there was a lot of fights. So, hey, never graduate, right? So, where did you end up going to college after you got out of the military? By the way, I don't remember.
I actually went on. I went to like Palo Alto and stuff. Took care of a lot of basic stuff.
Yeah.
And then online, I went to Lamar University.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, real good programs there. I kind of zoomed through it in about 2 years.
Pretty cool.
Sweet.
Nice.
So good. An economics teacher, that's a good thing to have as a wrestler too, because you can negotiate your rate properly. So, but at this stage now, how much longer do you see yourself doing this? Because it's hard to, people will ask this question, especially because not every one of us can be a Batista, right? 40 years old winning the world title. So
Or Sting.
Or Sting. So
let's see. I'm gonna be 42 in a few weeks. I could really see me going till I'm about 45, going strong till about 45. Then, I'd want to leave on my own terms. Kind of like T-Ray just did.
Yeah.
I want to leave on my own terms. I don't want, I suffered a torn quad a few years back, and I wasn't ready to walk away.
Yeah.
I want to walk away with a great story. My last match has to be against the King, Rob Love.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
He says no. I'm bigger than him, so I say yes.
He says, "Oh no," from what I remember.
Yeah. If there's an O in front of that no, like quite often, in fact.
But you say, "Oh yes, we will."
My hope is that you get PCO before that day comes. So
hopefully, Hopefully, I get some AAA action. Hopefully, I get some Japan action.
Yeah,
awesome.
There's no putting AEW out of the question because I know they're always looking for stuff. I can be a little feature. Like have me one time. I'm just asking for one time.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed to see what a 42-year-old stash can. The way I move and the way I take over that ring, man. A lot of people need to see that.
Tommy, don't you want to see him get interviewed by RJ City?
God, yes. You know how hilarious that would be? Because because he mentioned the stash first before he even hit the on air.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of the stash. Welcome to Hey EW.
Yeah. Although, if you're ever an extra with WWE and they make you a policeman, you'd be the only policeman with this big ass stash too.
I'd stand out. So that
they would probably have to put him in a match. They're like, all right, who are all the guys we got for? What is this? Like, he's playing one of the officers tonight. Do you know how distinguishable? Do you have a match, sir? No, you go get your gear. You're having a match. What
you're wrestling Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Do you mind jobbing to Solo? No, sir.
That's no job.
Yeah. And then, like, while you're wrestling, you two like become best friends. He's like, "Hey, next time we're in town, I'm gonna call you, okay?"
Yeah.
Come by the yard, Solo.
Tommy, you're the New Japan expert.
Yes.
How well would the stash go over in Japan?
Fantastically, because the crowd would be so unused to it that they would like love it immediately. You'd probably try to be a heel, but the crowd would probably love you immediately, no matter what you did. And you'd probably have guys, and I mentioned it because it is funny, but I think he'd have a blast with him. Is Toriano? He'd probably like look at you like, what's going on here? So, yeah, no, I think honestly, like, and I mean this in earnest, like, you have a personality to where I think you would gravitate to any crowd, and like, you just yell at them to shut up. They'd probably yell back at you, but they'd be impressed with the stash. They'd tell you like we want to yell, but that's really cool.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. I mean, you could get some Brody Hansen vibes out of that from Japan. Of scaring them, but that's what they loved. They love to be scared by those guys, and I think you could pull the same thing with them.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like
sure.
you'd be the heel, you'd yell at the kids, but there would be that one kid who wasn't afraid and just wanted to grow up and be like you. So he'd have whatever stud stash shirt was on. He's like, I hate all you kids except that one. He's cool.
Well, you guys have mentioned Toriano, so I'm hoping one day Toriano and Stud Stash main event Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh God!
Yes.
If you never watched the show, that is JC's New Japan guy.
Yeah, and he says main event Wrestle Kingdom just to make me mad.
Yeah.
Says Okada, move aside. We got the stash coming in. All right. Now, United 2-0, you have that on Saturday.
Yes.
Sunday, RCW. And Mike, this is an old school Survivor Series style match he's in?
That's what they announced today.
Wow.
River City Kingdom. So it's Rob Love, it's Stash, and Overkill, Jay Alexander, and Edge Stone versus the A-Plus Kids, David Kidd. So again, on opposite sides of the ring, one night after the other. Jesse James, who y'all been in a long feud with for a while now.
Yeah.
Spartan, who just came back, who'd been out for a while from an injury, and Devin Carter. So.
Oh, the fashionista.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Show you some fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I just want to imagine you got mad. It's like, wait, he's the fashionista and I've been rocking this stash all these years. Wow. Gee, thanks everyone. Not like I haven't been trying.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming old school Survivor Series rules, elimination. That should be fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
Overkill, we saw them not the last RCW show, but 2 shows ago when we were back at the church gym, and they got mad at us because we didn't pick them in the match that they won the title. So they basically threatened me and Tommy that the next time they saw us, if we didn't pick them, Jay Alexander said he was going to powerbomb us together, and I completely believe him. Because that dude is like a little Jack Scott Steiner.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he is.
Dude's strong and he could fly for some reason.
Yeah. It's like those two things shouldn't go together. But they
same with Edge. Edge is like freaking 7 feet tall and he can fly through the air like
the first time I saw both of them was at a show somewhere in Central Texas. I can't remember the name of the town. I really can't. It was a show where Britt McKenzie and all these guys were wrestling on, and I saw them and I was like, who are these guys and why am I just now finding out about them? Next thing I know, they were everywhere. But I saw that night, just for those, I was like, what the hell? These guys are amazing. How are they doing that?
I'm glad they're on our team.
Yeah.
So is anybody picking the A-plus kids in this one, or?
As much as I hate Rob Love, I can't do it. I gotta pick.
I'll
pick everyone, but you know what? I'll say this. I'll say Stash, Alexander and Ed Stone win the match. Just Rob Love gets eliminated.
You just
there.
want
There. That would make me the happiest of all.
Well, I'll ask you, Asash, who do you want to eliminate in this match?
I want to eliminate the fashionista.
Oh, there we go.
You know, he flips his hair around and wears all this, you know, provocative clothing, his stash, you know, can't keep my eyes in my skull, you know, taking the attention off the mustache.
Yeah.
You know, I got a bone to pick with him. Okay. Got a bone to pick with him.
That would be the best reason for a rivalry I've ever heard. It's like, look, I have this stash and you're just distracting everyone with your outfits. I don't like it. That's it. We're enemies forever.
I would have said Jesse James, but Jesse James legitimate jiu-jitsu, and you know I need my arms and fingers. You know.
When I first saw him, when I thought that was just a gimmick, then I thought he did that for real. Then I saw some of his competition tapes. I was like, oh no, he's serious. Oh, he's legit. Oh, why are people messing with him?
Oh, well, no. Once I saw his ears,
I
was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be super nice to this guy.
Yeah.
and it is kind of funny because like. I don't know, or at least like when I've known him, because like I've told you, like he subs at the school I work at, so I've seen him a few times, But like he doesn't come across like that at all.
Yeah, no,
like,
he really doesn't.
Like he just seems like a really cool, like, and he is for the most part like a really cool guy. But then you're like, oh yeah, you could just like take out people of any size, legit. You know, won a Naga belt up in Austin earlier this year, the one he brings to the ring now. So
Oh yeah, that's legit. But one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah. He just got married too, so congrats to him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, this is a busy weekend for you. I'm just very happy for you. I've known you for such a long time, and I know how much of a dream this was for you. So to see you living this out is pretty amazing. So
I really appreciate that. Man.
Yeah. What
even Tommy see me there from the beginning when I was just
I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, man, dude, as you said 2017, I was like, wow, then I really was there for some of your very first stuff, you know. So that was like, that's really cool.
This is 10 years ago. Like him and I were just like chit chatting about what's going on in the world of wrestling too. You know.
Oh yeah, I would have never thought we'd be here today.
Yeah. How much John Cena annoyed us. So that's what it was 10 years ago, right? So
that was the topic.
Well, don't worry, the strike just ended, so he should be back making movies and TV shows. So.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you know how I found out the strike ended?
How?
Kevin Bacon posted a TikTok of him dancing to Footloose, and I was like, this is amazing. So
that's awesome.
Yes. So when all is said and done, what do you want your legacy in wrestling to be?
I want it to be that I want it to be that no matter how old you are, you can do whatever you want to do. You just got to have that vision. You got to have that passion. You got to have that dedication, discipline. You know, it don't matter the age, man. I mean, I defied odds that you only read about, like you only hear about, like DDP, or Scott Norton. Those are the only two individuals I know that done it at such a late age.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not on that level, but I mean, I'm working every weekend. I'm throwing my body around with 19, 20-year-olds, and I'm keeping up. That whatever you can do, if you see that thing, man, ain't no stopping you. Especially when you have the support, of people like yourselves and the fans, family, man, ain't no stopping you. And I also want to leave a legacy of, hey, I did this for my community where I came from, the South Side. I want to make the South Side proud.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's awesome.
I think you definitely have. You were definitely over at that pep rally for sure. The whole thing. In an instant, the crowd went from cheering you to booing you to cheering when Dillard the Cowboy hits you, which was a great segment, by the way.
Is that the mystery partner at United? Is it the Cowboy?
Oh boy. Could be the Indian, because Harlandale did win the Frontier Bowl, so you never know. I mean,
there you go.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
So, but yeah, even then, that segment really just got the crowd into the rest of the.
I was saying this to Rob the other day. The feeling I get when I go through the curtain and I feel the crowd, That's the same exact feeling I felt at that pep rally, and I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, like, oh shit, am I going to be able to turn it on? You know?
Yeah.
And sure
No, it
enough-
just
and sure enough,
clicked.
it was just a switch.
No, it was clicked, and it was amazing to watch. You hear like all the students were back there enjoying it. The parents and alumni were there to watch. They had fun seeing it. Hell, that football player you got to just wear the ref shirt to come out and just count the pin. He was all into
he
it
was
too.
loving it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a fun time, and I've been saying it. San Antonio loves wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't matter what it is. I can remember, and yes, I'm gonna throw Gail Kim out here because I met her when she was on the set of Restaurant Impossible when Robert Irvine was in town, and we're talking about wrestling. And like I was there when lockdown was here. She's like, "Y'all were the best crowd," and I was like, "San Antonio loves wrestling."
Yeah.
And just if you have there's always someone there. United 2-0. That's amazing to have a block party wrestling show.
Yeah.
And I hope the weather cooperates this weekend so y'all can put something on.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at. And
It
has all year, so give me one more day, please.
One more day. If not, you guys need to install a retractable roof. That's the next stage of that immaculate backyard at your dad's place. So
we will go rain or shine, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna go.
Yeah, just get some poles and some tarps and just get this thing going. It'll be all right.
So yeah. All right, guys, you got anything for the stud stash here? So
nah, just we appreciate what you do and look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's cheering you or booing you.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's like depending on what part of the multiverse, what portal we enter or exit through. So yeah, it's always great seeing you, man. So so it's you're always a highlight of a show, and whenever you're in a match, that's when we know for a fact that the match is gonna be fun because you're always gonna give it your best. So
I appreciate that so much. All the kind words. I appreciate being a part of this show. I've been trying to get on this show since even before I was a wrestler.
Yes.
Well, that means we gotta have you back.
So much,
that means we gotta have you back on at some point now.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back on.
Whenever y'all want, man. I'm always down for this because I've had a great time. I didn't even know an hour passed.
Yeah, no
kidding. I looked at the clock.
Appreciate it. And I'll say this: you said 45. Hey, if you do DDP yoga, you can make it to 50. I'm just
apparently because
that man is saving careers. Are you on social media?
Yeah, I am. On Facebook, I do have a Stud Stash Enforcer. That's my fan page. And look at me cheating, trying to. I never can remember my.
On Instagram,
I think it's official _stash1 on Instagram.
Because we tagged you earlier. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. And on Instagram, United 210 SA.
Yep.
All right. Do you want to just kind of quick promo for what you got going on this weekend? Because we can give you a minute if you want to do it. What do you want to do here? You want to get the stash ready? So.
Oh, like a stash promo?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm in.
So, all right. Have at it, good sir.
To all you stashaholics out there, be sure to catch the stash Saturday on Veterans Day of all days. And watch me whoop a little ass, toss some people around, because the stash ain't going down to the ground. No, sir. No, sir. On Saturday, I will be standing tall with all the veterans. And on Sunday at RCW, old school Survivor Series match, look for the River City Kingdom to reign supreme. In the words of King Rob Love, oh yeah!
Very well
he
done.
He out of nowhere, dude.
When I tell you I've known this man a long time, this charisma, it's not taught. He was born with this.
Dude, that was so incredible. He come out of nowhere. And Terry just brought up a good point in the chat. Terry,
yes.
Jericho's 53.
Oh, there we
just
go.
saying.
Okay, there we go. Ooh, is that a challenge, Terry? Right when Terry's walking away, he can bring that up to me.
I know.
He'll be in the crowd somewhere. We all know it. He'll be in the crowd somewhere.
He can't stay away. He can't stay away.
I can't wait to get with Terry either. Need to take some pictures with him too.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah. So.
That was awesome.
Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the weekend. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service too. We do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And keep living the dream, man. It's pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Every day.
Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. Take care.
Thank you, man. Oh, that
was so
awesome.
fun.
All
Too good. You want to finish going through RCW then real quick?
Yeah, go for it. What else does RCW have on the card?
So just kind of throwing out the matches. We don't have to pick anything, but they got a lot of title matches. So let me get the non-title matches out of the way. We got the Gutter Snake Izzy James taking on Alex Arsenal. Alex Arsenal's another one who I've kind of seen recently in the last couple months. Very impressive, got a good look. And then, Izzy James, he's been doing it a while now. We've seen his different incarnations. Back when they were at the church, he jumped off the balcony
because he had to.
That crazy match, yeah. So that should be a good one.
Because he had to.
And then let's see, where do we start? There's also the intergender match where Emmy Camacho joins her brother Angel Camacho, who finally broke away from Nastico, to take on the team of Alejandra the Lion, who needs to leave Nastico. Yes. We support that here. And the 7-foot face of fear, Bo Amir. So they are still with Nastico at the moment. Hopefully that changes soon. But they do have an intergender tag match going on there. And then, we have the Survivor Series match. The international title, Diego Rene taking on against the thick daddy thoroughbred, Anthony Andrews.
I have no one to cheer for in that match.
Diego just, he's good. You love to hate him, especially because he's with the treats, but...
and you can also just hate him. Oh.
Yeah. What else do we got? We got the women's title with Maddie defending against...
Queen, the disrespect herself.
Yes. Maddie Winkowski defending against Miranda Gordy, who is the daughter of Terry Bam Bam Gordy, which Maddie made quite apparent in her promo for the match, talking about all the titles Miranda hasn't won that her dad won.
The utter disrespect, bro.
Yeah, that was something. We've got the tag team triple threat for the title.
Yeah,
so the newly crowned champion, the Pillars. This is going to be a hard one to cheer for, honestly, because they are taking on the Flocking Brawlers, Casey Black Rose and Brandon Weiss, of course, friends of the show as always. And then also now friends of the show, having just interviewed him, H2 Easy, JP and Hyder. So one hell of a triple threat, because those Pillars are, we talked about Overkill being big and strong, but the Pillars stood right against them that last show and, came away with that win.
Just mountains of meat.
Yeah, seriously. And then, the kind of non-title but big attraction match, the Texas Treats versus the Von Erichs, Marshall and what is it? Rick? No, Marshall and
Ross.
Ross, there you go.
Because oh my God, did you hear the Treats promo?
Yeah.
Said that we love your department stores. I wanted to shoot Don Juan.
I mean, it's clever. You got to give.
I know, but I wanted to shoot him anyway. I wanted to shoot him on principle. But
but yeah, Texas Treats versus the Von Erichs, that should be fun, especially with Iron Claw just coming out. And can we point out our friend Emily May at the premiere, who is at all the cool wrestling stuff.
Emily May is making it happen, bro.
With all the New Japan American, strong stuff that goes on, she's always over there. She's at Mission Pro. She's at these things. So shout out to her. And then the RCW title, the main event, kind of an interesting one. Khan versus Fuego del Sol. Fuego del Sol, of course, many of you know, was on AEW for a while. Was like, I don't want to say like handpicked by Cody, but kind of. Yeah. Him and Sammy. So he's back on the indies right now, but he's got a match against Khan, and Khan's been taking on all defenders for a while now. He's had the belt since earlier this year.
Yep.
RCW Mania, right? When he beat Mysterious Q.
Yeah, Mysterious Q. Yeah.
So do you guys think this is the night Khan loses the title?
I don't know. Last show was barely a month ago. He took on Bo Amir, who was a big 7-foot giant. Fuego's a different kind of beast, so it's going to have to be, can he deal with his quickness and his attacks kind of coming from everywhere? I don't know. I think I'm going to lean toward Khan, but the other thing that's worth saying, Brandon does not book to make you happy. He books to keep you wanting to come back. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm picking Khan because that dude's a freaking beast, genetic beast.
Yeah, he really is.
Saw his latest post. I'm just like, Terry was a bold prediction. Okay.
Boom. There it is.
Okay.
Someone's going with some controversy in their last few shows.
Yeah, well, he's controversial anyway.
Well,
but okay. That sounded bad. I'm kidding.
So yeah, it looks like about 8 matches on the card. And yeah, like Stash said, they're always fun. They're one of the premier, if not the premier, promotion in Texas. So
yeah,
you never go wrong.
Very awesome. I don't have a graphic for it, but I think the tickets are almost sold out. So yeah.
The Iron Claw
tickets are almost sold out here. So check the RCF website for that. If not, you can watch it on Title Match Network.
Yeah. So. Okay. So what they have left is and I can't stress the word very few enough. Third row. There's some fourth row and beyond, and of course, standing room is still available. But first 2 rows, except for like 1 chair in the second row, first 2 rows are gone. The first 2 rows are done. Like
those go quick.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
But dude, I feel like first row was gone by Monday. But
no, it was. Like, it wasn't even. Yeah, they did. Like by the time they were like, "Oh, hey, look at what we got." Nothing in the front row.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. I this time, like I was second row last time. That was fun, but I was in the corner. This time I'm just in the back because Also, sometimes sitting at those shows, like got to move around, so being toward the back is a little bit easier.
Yeah, standing towards the back is funnier because even when I yelled, I can still be heard. Like I told Marvel he sucks, and he stopped.
Or the main event when you were booing Boromir and Nastico, and Lou Gotti and Alejandro are on the side, and Alejandro came after you after the match. So,
yeah.
I regret nothing.
Expect nothing less. All right, well, yeah, check out the RCW website, rcw-wrestling.com, and look for, they'll have the link there to get tickets. And if you're not able to make it, you can watch it on Title Match Network as well.
Damn, Terry.
Yes, you can.
I mean, this is
and
not
Terry's
untrue.
also right.
I mean, it's not untrue, but still.
No, like literally, they put up a clip from the last show, a bunch of clips, obviously, and there's one from the main event of Khan versus Boromir, and Nastico literally comments, "You could hear Tommy laughing with delight." He literally made the comment on it because you can. Also true.
I got nothing. Yeah, it's all
we've been told by multiple people that we interview that we've interviewed that they know when you're there.
The Gia Michelle
they can
interview
hear you from
still,
backstage.
I haven't been able to get to the whole Gia Michelle interview because the interview, the beginning stuff me every time, just like, yeah.
She's not wrong, that old
opening. I know.
Which, by the way, shout out on the H2 Easy interview. That was great. Good stuff.
They were really great.
What do you think about his Hot Titans take?
He's not wrong. That's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure, and yeah, he had a couple weeks to prepare for that game. He had 4 days to prepare for the Steelers, and he didn't play that bad, honestly. Just some stuff down the stretch. And now he's been named the starter. Permanent. So Tannehill's the backup now. Yeah.
Wow.
So Will Levis is the starter for the Titans, and it is. And honestly, if he plays good in Oilers gear, that's fine. Because the other time they're wearing the Oilers gear is against the Texans, and as long as it beats Houston, I don't give a shit. Yeah. That's fine with me. But it is a big thing to be thrust into. But Malik Willis, who's our other quarterback, got thrown to that last year's rookie, couldn't do a damn thing, and Levis has control of that offense. So as a Titans fan, I'm happy where it's at right now.
And you also want him to use the Oilers jerseys all the time?
I would love it. I would love it. Yeah. But, that's it's a good nostalgia thing. I love seeing the Columbia Blue. I would love a game in the original Oilers gear, like the AFL Oilers every now and then, because that is beautiful as well. But, it's people wanting to get the Oilers back, and he's sorry. The Oilers are with the Titans. That's where the legacy of the franchise went. So, and that's where it's going to stay. So, and that's where they have homecoming with the Oilers stuff, So it's the best part of it is that a lot of the Oilers greats from the Houston era go to Nashville for that weekend and are proud to be a part of that franchise. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome. So,
and also
Jason,
I was gonna say,
Jason, you're right. Shout out to Carolina as well because she's awesome and can't wait to have her back.
Yeah, still need to watch that Carolina one for sure.
And I'm just gonna say, we've been on an awesome roll between bringing people on like Angel and Stash. Having our interviews, within a couple of weeks, we had Maddie, we had Gia Michelle, we had H2 Easy, we had Carolina, which if you haven't watched it, she was on a bit of a time constraint. So that's a part one. We are going to get her back on maybe in about a week or two and do a part two. Because when we say that, like, we barely scratch the surface of the things she's involved in and wants to talk about, like, we're not lying. Like, she's involved in so many things. Like, the next day, or, you know, like, I guess it was Monday, but she was on, like, the New York Post TV show to talk about the Spurs in New York. And she was, like, you know, the San Antonio contributor for that part of it. It's like, she's just a part of everything. And she's super cool, but super passionate about it and everything she does. Like, you know, we also talked about she's the general manager of Mission Pro. And she, like I said, she got some stuff off her chest in that promo.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I was waiting for the Men's Revolution to come out and say something.
Yeah. But it's like what we said in the interview when we said she is literally the busiest person.
Yeah.
Like I know, and like and you know, God bless her for it. She is working. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But damn, she works.
So yeah, just, you know, thank you to you guys for getting people on,
sure.
you know, for all these interviews we've been doing. It's been fun, and we're gonna hope, and there's more to come, guys. Not just, you know, part two of Carolina. There's other people we were talking to and trying to get set up as well. So we hope for them to keep coming.
Yep.
All right, well, let's talk Crown Jewel, guys.
That happened.
Yeah, that did happen, and it was, you know, in the middle of the afternoon too on Saturday.
Yeah.
Before the time change.
WOW.
Yeah. Not a bad show. I mean, it's not the greatest thing about Saudi Arabia, but of the Saudi Arabia shows. But my biggest takeaway from this is how much normal it is that women are wrestling in Saudi Arabia.
That's a good.
You know, it's pretty awesome. You even had Kairi Sane return with a whole new look, and it's in Saudi Arabia, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask, even before that, we kind of called it Rollins defeating McIntyre. I think some of us might have picked the other way, but we felt this is where the cash was going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you think of the little twist where Sami Zayn took the briefcase and ran?
I love it. Only because Sami Zayn's such a troublemaker, and I love him. I love him
right
for
there
it.
for that. It was interesting. Again, like, I feel like they're doing, like, I don't know if it's a long-term storyline, but I feel like the storyline with Rollins is almost like I don't want to say like a copy, obviously, but similar to the Orange Cassidy storyline of he's just running himself into the ground. You know, they've been playing on that back injury for a while now. I thought it was going to happen against Nakamura because of the things Nakamura was doing to him. You know, he has this big match with Drew. So yeah, like I feel like they're really setting him up. So you're not as surprised when the cash in comes because he is taking beatings match after match after match and he's surviving, but it's like, you know, how much more does he have?
Yeah.
Sammy involved. Yeah. After shipping KO.
That's another thing. It's like, well, I mean, this kind of feels like, you know, them also making sure everyone knows Sammy's still main event level by himself. I mean, because everyone knows that about KO, but everyone seems to forget it when it comes to Sammy, which isn't fair. Like, they're both main event level guys, and what Sammy proved with that match on Raw, to me, I thought that was I actually thought that was a pretty good match.
I think with what they set up on Raw too, like they announced what War Games is going to be. I'm already kind of calling it. Like, first of all, War Games better finish the show. Number one, number two, after that match is over, I see the Judgment Day standing tall. And that's when I think the cash-in is going to happen. And would be the most appropriate time for it to happen too. You know, I think that would be. I think Rollins really just wants to do War Games. Maybe that's why he's
No. But I was going to ask, could you almost pull the swerve where the faces stand tall, but then like in the midst of the celebration or something, Priest takes has the wherewithal to cash in, like. You know, maybe Rollins was close to being out, but, you know, Cody, Mr. Captain America or Homelander, you know, gets the pin on JD. McDonald Google me, which I think is probably what's going to happen. And then, you know, in that kind of after excitement, you know, Priest sneaks in, gets the pin.
Like,
I know
almost like they're celebrating, and then all of a sudden everyone gets thrown out and he's locked in the cage.
Or something, like a little
and no one can interrupt it.
Because Judgment Day standing tall, I wouldn't mind, and then then that leads to that. but I feel like you know maybe this. I guess because I'm used to WWE trying to pull swerves.
Mhm.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, Roman's not booked on Survivor. He's not going to be booked back till next year, from what I understand. So.
Interesting.
And yeah, honestly, I'm kind of ready for it to move on to someone else.
I am so over this title right now. It's lost all its meaning at this point.
I think I was still holding it. WrestleMania 40. I think this.
No, I
well, it's got to happen there now. I mean,
Yeah,
at this point,
I don't know because like I told you, I think I said last show or maybe I said this on our chat. Someone was bringing up, well, Hogan's at 1,400 days, so basically another year, and Roman can pass in. I'm like, okay, again, don't want to get into like a 1 minute warning. I am so over title reign days. Like it wasn't a big thing until Punk did it, and that was just part of his kind of persona of being like full of himself. But now everybody, and AEW does it too. But like everyone is just obsessed with who's had it the longest.
But the difference in those places was the champion was there all the time. And when MJF just did it, and he only did it for one person, and that was just to bug Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And if we get that match out of him and Kenny that we got, and that's what Bring Up Days gives us, I'm all for it because first of all, they damn near killed each other. But to me like it has a place. And well, Terry and Jason said it really best in the comments. Terry said if you want to clean and Jason, distraction, spear, retain, it makes you not care long. Yeah, but the other difference is that when you have title reigns, you have that like legit concern or anxiety that they could lose. Like, okay, I keep doing this, but what the hell? It's who I am. I'm I mentioned it. New Japan. When Okada had his long ass title, when Okada had his long ass title reign, no one cared about. No one really knows how long he had it until he'd had it so long that even Tanahashi brought up he was about to pass his consecutive day reign, and that's when they mentioned it. But until then, even before Tanahashi, you had other guys who legitimately could have taken it off Okada every time they wrestled. Like you had because even wrestled Kenny Omega, I think twice during that, and one of those was a draw. So when you have legit contenders who can do it. Now, I'm not saying that Roman hasn't had that because I still firmly believe Jay should have won it at SummerSlam. I don't care.
But
I think
you say that, and I feel like we've been there for a while now. Like I would have been justified with Drew at Clash of the Castle.
No, you're right.
I would have been, like you said with Jay, like Terry saying, I would have, I picked LA Knight because I was like,
I did too.
I'm ready for it. But on the flip side of that, I don't think the WWE crowd minds because they seem to go nuts for it every time it happens.
And that's what they're selling. This is what they're selling because think about it. He's had it for so long. We're frustrated by the title reign. We're frustrated by this. In the same way, we got frustrated when Triple H kept retaining his title years ago. Remember that, Mike? Or when Cena kept retaining. But you keep watching, when is he going to lose it? Maybe it's going to be tonight. Why do you keep watching? Why did people buy Floyd Mayweather boxing matches all those years? Maybe
Why did they buy Logan Paul boxing matches? Or
there's a little difference. Mayweather's never lost a fight. So you kept watching with all the promos and all the way he sold the fight. Is he going to lose this time? Is it going to happen? Like, granted, Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather was way past when it should have happened.
Yeah,
I still think that. And that's neither here or there. But the idea was like, hey, we want to see Mayweather lose. We're buying this maybe this is the night Mayweather loses. And of course he kept winning, but he kept selling.
And that's what they're doing.
Fights.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah.
But also like I don't think a majority of their fans are like us. So
Yeah.
But see, and JC, you say that distraction spirit. Yeah, I get it. Believe me, it's frustrating, but you hate him, and that's what they're building up.
Actually,
so
let's do visual pin, distraction, spear, retain because they do try to give the face like, oh, he should have won if it wasn't for the ref knocked out or the distraction. So LA Knight got the same thing. He hit the blunt force trauma. He had the 3 until Jimmy put the foot on the rope. So they always throw that in there too. But
Terry, and I get that. I get that too, Terry. I agree with that. But this kind of plays into the whole tribal chief gimmick. I'm better. for you, at the risk of using someone else, I'm better than you, and you know it, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one at this level. Like, I'll defend it when I want, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You know, so
okay, so I get that's the point of the gimmick, but then that cheapens the title to me.
I get that, but let's face it, he still defends it more often than Brock Lesnar ever did.
That's not a good argument, though.
That
makes it just as bad.
Point, I'm not sure that's true.
I gotta agree with Mike. I don't think
earlier in the 3-year reign, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but at this point of it, I'm not sure that's true. Like we said,
I think by frequency he's defended it less.
He's not coming back till 2024 now, from what we understand, at least for a match. So
he might make an appearance in Survivor Series.
Okay,
you know.
So and here's my other thing, because I know a lot of people bring up like whenever I mention like New Japan with their belts, like they don't have constant title defenses either, and that's true. However, they also have the champion freaking show up. That's the difference. Like,
no one brings up New Japan.
Yeah, very funny. Anyway, and the difference is, and like even with MJF, who who doesn't like to wrestle or whatever. Well, he says that, but the difference is he's on TV every week to say that. You know, so that's the other thing.
The funny thing with his gimmick too is he's wrestled more in like the last 3-4 months.
Yeah,
not always title matches, because he has the tag team stuff going on. He has those titles. But like you said, yeah, he's on the show every week. He really is having way more match. He even made a comment on it. Was it Dynamite?
Is it Dynamite or Collision that he said?
Right, where he's like, after the match, he was like, I wrestled way more than I planned to this year.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. If he doesn't want to wrestle, fine. Just show up, though. Damn.
You know, so maybe Roman's still show. He's not going to wrestle. Who knows? But the point is, they're going to build this up. It's got to happen at WrestleMania 40. It's the 10s. It's in Philly. I still think it's going to be Cody. I still think the plan is he drops it to Cody. Cody at some level becomes heel because it's Cody. It always happens that way. And then LA Knight is going to take it off Cody at some point. That's where I think it's going to go. So
I hope so.
Would it be hilarious if Cody loses it the Raw after Mania? That'd be hilarious.
Okay. So I feel like Damian Priest isn't that guy, but like if they had, not that he's not capable of it, but like if LA Knight had the briefcase, that would have been something. Like take it to Mania the night after LA Knight, because even though Cody's like supposed to be their big face, like you said, you know how easily crowds turn on that face once they win. LA Knight, such popularity, that'd be something. Or would have been.
Yeah,
I mean, we see it everywhere Cody goes. I mean, AEW at some point they turn on him too. So it just it's one of those things that they'll tell the story.
Happened in Ring of Honor. Of course, he was a fantastic heel in ROH too, though. So
oh yeah. Now speaking of Logan Paul,
damn him,
because
he's so good.
That is an interesting dynamic. He's fun to watch, but that was an interesting dynamic where they would have to do like I don't know what you're talking about because it wasn't clean, so to speak. But I'm kind of playing that and But I mean, I think I don't know if you guys predicted too, but I said, hey, it's going to be Logan Paul because you got.
I think I picked.
No, I chose him too because exactly what's happening now. He's going to take the belt everywhere. Mm-hmm. I don't need to see his damn Shawn Michaels pictures with the belt, but
you know what's going to happen.
I think, but speaking of that, I think Hunter Gray from RCW did that with the tag belts, and because Paul Titan was looking, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, and where are they? They're like in front of a building, man.
They were. I don't know what was going on. That's what the caption said. Let's hope he's wearing a loincloth underneath.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a green screen, but who knows? Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Possible.
What other matches stood out to you from Crown Jewel?
So here's the thing: like the matches, like they've been for a while, are really solid. Like the McIntyre Rollins match was really damn good.
Yeah,
the women had a really good match. Like everyone kind of getting some of their stuff in.
Yeah, they too.
What else?
Both
women's matches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, except he got up like 45 seconds later to do his, I guess I'm walking out into the sunset. He got murdered by the thumb and then literally got up within 2 minutes to walk out. He should have been stretchered out if you were going to take like 10 thumbs of death.
At least sell it more.
Yeah,
you know that was frustrating.
That was because he needed his moment to walk out in the crowd, but like it was like 30 seconds after the match was over.
Guys,
he got back up.
He lost. What more did you want? Come on. Now you're asking. Nope, you're asking too much.
Sell it.
You're asking too much. He lost.
Look, okay, first of all, go ahead. I have never seen John Cena so damn pasty white either, dude. Like
wow.
Look back on like some of the matches he used to have too, and you know he had some color, but now it was just like, dude, it just still doesn't look like John Cena as I remember him. I don't know if it's the hair, the bald spot. I don't know. It just doesn't look the same. But yeah, that is frustrating to me. Like, sell it.
Yeah.
Like
that really bothered me at the end.
We went to Rumble in 2007, and he wrestled Umaga. You guys remember that?
Yeah. That was
great. That was a great. It was I think it was a last man standing match.
Yeah.
But that little feud with Umaga too, he sold that so much better. You got to sell it. And I get you're trying to do this whole drama thing, but you really got to sell it.
Especially because it wasn't one Samoan spike. It was like he hit it like 3 times, and then he hit it with like 6 straight to like emphasize the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't sell. Okay, but also I do find this funny. I don't know if y'all seen the TikToks where like people are retiring or whatever, and it's that song, "Can I just have like 5 more minutes?" or whatever. So people were making that for John Cena, you know, thinking he's retiring again. And I was like, I don't think Cena could have given you 5 more minutes. He's not doing well in the ring anymore.
Wow.
Sorry. Like, again, with so many of these older people that keep coming back and aren't contributing like a Sting or an Adam Copeland or a Jericho, I appreciate what you did, but like sometimes it's just not adding anything.
Yeah.
Like it's so I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's not like he was here. Like he came back literally because the strike was on. He hadn't been in WWE for a while, so
and perfect timing. The strike's over now.
Yeah, right.
So So all right. Anything else stand out to you guys? Do you want to get to our pick results and ratings?
I mean, again, like I feel like it was a solid show. Nothing
it's a solid show.
Super memorable, but like, you know, some things happened. Io Sky coming back was cool, like you said. So
that or Kairi Sane.
Or Kairi Sane, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Io Sky retained, Kairi Sane came back.
Yep.
Kairi Sane, I'm really, really interested where they go from here with this because that was pretty awesome.
I'm also kind of interested she came back just because I felt like when she left, she wasn't as happy with things. But I guess maybe with Triple H more in charge and Sting's a little bit different.
Probably more the Triple H side of things.
Triple H was the one that brought her in with NXT and everything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
And it is kind of a glorified hassle, which is cool because it's for the people over there. So, you know, I get that.
Yeah. But I mean, they're in touch with the storylines. They love it. That's the couple times a year they get to see that event, and it's pretty awesome. So it's very cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, how do we do on our picks? Mike went 4-4, Tommy 5-3, and I went 7-1.
Wow.
What's the one you got wrong?
I called you Mansoor.
Wow.
Where's
my stuff here? What did I get wrong? Where is it?
Probably.
I said Bianca Belair was going to win.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think all of us did.
No, Tommy picked Io Sky.
Oh, okay.
He's the one picked Io Sky. Yeah, so that was the only one I got wrong there. So I was actually going through the results.
I got Ray. I got Ray, Knight, and what did I get wrong?
Yeah, Terry.
You said Cena was going.
No,
Mike said Cena. Mike said Cena was going.
No, I said Cena. I got wrong on Cena. I got wrong on the. We got wrong on the women.
Oh, I got wrong on the Fatal 5-Way. That's right.
You said Shayna Baszler.
We both said Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I stuck with Rhea Ripley on that. Yeah. So.
Terry, I've heard that, but there was also a rumor they're going to bring a 4th that no one expects. So I'm kind of interested to see what that might be.
There have been rumors that Julia is going to show up.
Boy.
And if it's Julia, okay, I'm look.
They run and shit.
But look, I'm going to say this right now. If it's Julia, I think I might subscribe to Peacock and get back into the network. Look, it's her catchphrase, but it's true. Everyone loves Julia. I am everyone.
You got it. The question is though, does the WWE crowd who doesn't know about New Japan Will they?
Oh,
I didn't ask them.
Triple H will make sure that they know. Trust me. He's done a good job of. Here you go.
I think it may not be for a while.
Yeah. What Triple H has done well, and what he did well when he was running NXT 2 was bringing in this talent and selling them to this audience, and that's why they got so big, because there was still a crowd that didn't know who Kairi Sane was, who some of these other wrestlers were that he brought in, and he made them stars there, and then could hand them off to his father-in-law. That didn't go so well because he didn't know what the fuck to do with them. Yeah. So
also, if that comes to fruition, like the new faction, does that mean it's time for the Bayley face redemption run?
It's long overdue.
I heard that rumor.
Because she has been putting everybody over for way too long.
Oh, Jason just brought up a good point.
What's up?
They're using Xia Li.
Oh, and she's going after Becky. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And thank God, because they've had her for 5 years and they've done shit. Sorry, I like her as a person. She seems really cool, and it's like, will they finally just fucking abuse her? So.
All right, well, on to our WrestleCast ratings here. 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. Mike, what is your rating for Crown Jewel?
I'm going to give it a 4. Like, it's not a bad show again, but it just kind of, maybe like Jason said, feels like a glorified house show. I'm getting tired of the Roman Reigns bit. And I know why he won, but like I don't really want to see Logan Paul with the title, so meh.
All right. Tommy?
4. It did its thing. It was fun, but it wasn't much more than that. So 4.
Yeah, 4 for me too, and that was kind of the rating I had coming in. Yeah, the Cena thing is probably the most annoying thing I had about it. That match just felt
on the same page about that.
Yeah, that match just felt out of place, honestly.
Which one?
The Solo Sikoa and John Cena match.
Like, okay.
It just, I don't know. I didn't feel like it needed to be there, but it was a way to get Cena in front of that crowd, I guess.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah,
which is why I thought he would have gotten a win, but yeah.
Yeah, and but I think what definitely helped the show was Kairi Sane coming in, crowd seeing a big moment like that, almost cashed in there. Great job teasing that, but what people don't realize was the significance of that was Sami Zayn escaping through the crowd. Something last year we never thought we would see because of Sami Zayn's Syrian heritage and the history between Syria and Saudi Arabia. So to see that crowd go crazy for Sami Zayn, to see him go crazy for him stealing the briefcase and everything, pretty awesome to watch. And I'm glad if WWE is making change in Saudi Arabia in one way or another, at some level they have. So it's pretty awesome. So.
All I said it earlier this year, Sami Zayn main event WrestleMania, suddenly the Saudi government changes things.
Terry's not wrong.
And Terry's not wrong either. But all I'm saying is, does Sami Zayn have that Jushin Thunder Liger power that can kind of fix things in the world?
Mm-hmm.
You can't prove that he doesn't.
So our rating for Crown Jewel, this is an easy math one there, 4.0. There you go. So,
I know some kids who might miss that.
Yeah.
My joke for years is
definitely not an honors class, right? So,
my joke for years would be like, guys, I swear I could put the answers on the board and not everyone would get 100.
Hilarious.
All right, with that, it's time for our 1-minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
I do.
All right, whenever you're ready, sir, set and go.
So, first of all, a shout out to our friend that we see at Mission Pro, Tusslemania, who is the video guy and shoots a whole bunch of videos for them and has been shooting or shot a bunch of the promos at the last show for the upcoming Silver Bells. Which have been great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I don't think he necessarily shot these, but in that same vein, go check out the promos going back and forth between Izzy and Tiffany Nieves, because Izzy has a Mission Pro title match at a show at the end of the month called Ladies Night Out, which is awesome for her. But in her promo, at the end of her promo, she gets on her cell phone and said she needs to call Tiffany because she said some things like at the show, she touched her title and her tiara, and then she said some things online, so she was going to apologize. And then out of nowhere and for no reason, in Tiffany's promo, you see her like taking the phone call, and it's legit one of those old 1920 on the wall. Like, I don't know where she's at. That it's like one of those like ring, ring, ring. She's like, fine, okay, I can't believe Izzy, and then just goes into her promo like we're not supposed to question why the hell you have this 1920 Alexander Graham Bell phone on your wall or where you're at. And it was just like I didn't expect that out of this thing. So it was just random, but I was cracking up after seeing her part of it.
The multiverse is varied and storied.
But, shout out to Izzy for that match. Hey, take the NPW title, why not? But but that go check out their promos back and forth because that was unexpected. And I was like, all right, Cracker Barrel special.
Wow,
very nice.
Damn, Terry.
Like I thought you had to ask for the operator first. So.
Usually
Tommy, you got something this week?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Whenever you're ready, sir, go for it.
Okay, first of all, BOW this past Saturday was a great show. We have a new champion in Chase Owens. Pin Savage King. It was a great match, him and Sledge. Great show all around. Everyone was did awesome. Met some new faces and everything. But he's still watching. So shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Hollywood Terry, who is on the road to retirement. He's on to do bigger and brighter things, but that doesn't mean we're not going to miss him on a regular basis because I know he's going to pop up every now and again. NJL, we have a new women's champion. She won the fatal four-way. Yeah, couldn't get that out. But thanks to Terry for all he's done for just local wrestling in general. He's ringing outs with some of the best of them. And I'm gonna be seeing him at every show. And again, me and him had a talk. I know why he's doing it. I don't know if he wants to put his business out there, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm happy for him. Great things are coming his way. He has earned them. He deserves them. I'm happy for him. I'm just gonna miss him. Yeah, on a regular basis. Like I said, he'll probably pop up every now and again. We can't keep him away from pro wrestling. That's never gonna happen. But just gonna miss seeing him on a regular basis. So thank you, good brother. Too sweet to do.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be in here talking shit on our chat too. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
And T-Ray, his last match was Sunday. His second to last match was at BOW. He gave a really good speech of what, and I got to talk to him a little bit too about retiring. So shouts out to both these guys who've done a ton for Texas wrestling. Speaking of that, Stash mentioned that he was in Great Scott's last match. Mm-hmm. I remember that dude. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's reasons or whatever, but like the fact that he's like, hanging him up, I'm like, dang. I forget why Great Scott, because I think I heard why. It wasn't anything bad from what I remember. Yeah, I don't know. If there is, I don't know. But like, I just remember that guy from early 2010s. Yeah, it's just this year, man, just the year of retirements, dude. Yeah. So, but it seems like most of them at least going out healthy on their own accord. Yeah, and that's good to see. Yeah, I will say this much. T-Ray, one thing he did say, he's like, man, I just like sitting on my couch now. So I was like, you know what? Fair. Can't blame her for that. So.
I'm going to take this opportunity to just reiterate what I'm going to be pushing for a lot, and that is just watching Crown Jewel. They were going through the fact that Elimination Chamber is going to be in Australia. Did you guys even catch that too? They were promoting that. Yeah. Royal Rumble better be in fucking Puerto Rico. I'm just going to keep saying it till it happens, man. You know what? It's, yes. And I say that because randomly I'm scrolling through TikTok and it'll pop up. Y'all forget this was the best entrance of 2023, and it's Bad Bunny's entrance at Backlash against Damian Priest. Look, that crowd, that arena, the drone shots. Yeah. That was epic, and I still know that crowd would be crazy hot if for Royal Rumble matches for the countdowns in Spanish, probably too, by the way. And just how whatever storylines you are going to tell at the Rumble, Puerto Rico is the place to be. They haven't officially made the announcement, and I hope they're going to surprise us with it. But the Rumble needs to happen in San Juan, Puerto Rico, for sure. Yeah,
they're going real international with these things. They're doing the Australia one. They've got one set for Germany now next year. So yeah, I mean, I know Puerto Rico, like not technically, but it'd still be.
It's an island that doesn't get a whole lot of big events like that. And
Yeah.
that crowd showed up and showed up for Backlash. I still think that's the best crowd of any promotion, anywhere this year. So
Terry just said it in the comments. Okay.
Well, I know he mentioned that in his video. So
I couldn't remember everything that was in the video. I think I was too busy saying no.
I think he also said he was tired of listening to you yell at all the shows. So.
I mean, I don't blame him for that. I mean,
First of all, which bowling center, and can we get some discounted time to go bowling? I say that because I assistant coach for a girls softball team, and a bowling night is a lot of fun.
I've been bowling.
I thought you were about to throw out there that you assistant coach some bowling. I was like, when did this start?
No, just getting a bunch of 9 and 10-year-old girls to go bowling, it would be a lot of fun. So,
Well, we've been almost 2 hours legacy, so
yeah.
It's been a long week, and I'm a little tired. So, and I may or may not be going up to New Japan tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Oh.
No, he would look happy if she did.
He would be happy.
What? We were having a good night. Why did you mention that woman?
Because she's awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the Count of City WrestleCast. Thank you again to Stud Stash for joining us.
Yes, thank you, Stash.
Happy Veterans Day to you and everyone who is currently serving or has served in the United States military in one form, especially if you're a Marine. Saturday is the Marine, or I'm sorry, tomorrow is the Marine Corps birthday. So
my God, my dad's gonna sing the Marine Corps hymn.
Yeah,
no, I'm not kidding. I believe you. He stands up in the house. So if I'm not there, my mom's gonna have to hear it because he stands up and sings the Marine Corps hymn every Marine Corps birthday.
He earned it.
There it is.
I didn't say he didn't. It's just that he's insane. All Marines are. They're all crazy.
Yeah.
Next week we're gonna preview AEW Full Gear.
Woo. Nice.
Actually, I can't wait for this show. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does look really good for sure. Looking forward to it. And then by request of my daughter, I have to share this. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. She's done a little bit of editing to make sure she took the W out and just put no W there and everything.
No W.
No
That's
W.
So good.
Good job, Audie. I'm so proud of you. So
he tried to edit.
Dude,
Thank you.
We need to make that an official image for our show.
I'm keeping it here just so I can hold it up.
As a writing tutor, thank you for even trying to edit. That means so much to me.
Terry, again, congrats on your retirement. And yes, hit me up. I might need whatever bowling alley you're at and get a bowling night for a softball team. And everyone, enjoy your weekend.
That's interesting. Wow. I didn't think of it. Yo.
That is an intriguing storyline that they're giving some time to breathe.
I'm actually confused as to who the devil actually is. I really don't know.
That's a devil nobody would be mad at either, for sure.
I'd be done with
that. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us. Guys, a lot of fun, as always. Thank you again to Stud Stash. And yes, your story is very inspirational. And you didn't say it here, but you said it to me privately how Tina and I kind of inspired you to get into wrestling and to give it a shot. And bro, you inspire us every day. At our age, you're doing this. It's awesome to see. I love the smile on your face. It does come through the mustache. That you love what you do, and it's a lot of fun. So
he meant, just real quick, because he had mentioned I'm in the ring with 19, 20-year-olds. At the hybrid show in the tag team match, he was teaming with a 19-year-old against David Kidd and a 16-year-old. But the best part is he was the heels, and he came out with Caliente on his back, giving her a piggyback ride. Even when he's a heel, it's hard to not like the dude. So.
Yeah,
he could have just yelled, "Okay, all of you get to class," and they all would have left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, he should do that against David Kidd.
Yeah.
So, appreciate everybody joining us. A lot of fun as always. Over here we got that guy Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Big Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. Reach for the sky, boy.
Boom.
See you next week.
Adios, Cooper.